Karmelo Anthony is heading back to court tomorrow to ask for a new trial as a new judge was appointed to the appeal today.
Jobin Paniker tells us the details as Anthony's new defense team will argue he did not get a fair trial.
Supporters for Karmelo Anthony stood on the Collin County Courthouse steps, pleased with the ruling that replaces the judge for the next step in his appeal.
He didn't want to accuse the judge of any formal canon violations, which is a whole separate matter, but concerning the motion for a new trial, he's no longer qualified.
Lee Merritt represents Anthony's new appellate defense team led by Russell Wilson. Anthony was in court in a green prison jumpsuit. He was convicted of murder in June and sentenced 35 years in the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf.
And if I follow the law.
Judge John Roach presided over that murder trial. The defense argued his decisions on the public's limited access and repeated statements that, quote, he followed the law in a WFAA interview after the verdict show he cannot be fair.
Following the law.
For me, that was shocking. As a layperson, I am not an attorney, but that was shocking.
Bill Werski is with the Collin County DA's office. He thought Judge Roach did a fine job, but also said he doesn't represent him. Judge Sid Harrell ruled after an hour and 20 minutes. Judge Roach will not handle any further hearings in the case.
Which is a victory for the Karmelo supporters. There's no doubt that they're happy because technically that's probably the first victory they've had in this case since it started. But it doesn't really change the landscape of what's next.
And what is next is a much, much higher bar, the motion for a new trial.
I think that the law will require a new trial based on the facts that we have discovered so far.
The defense will argue a breakdown of an unrecorded gentleman's agreement between both sides hurt Karmelo's defense. They argue that breakdown gave Anthony only minutes to decide whether to testify. They'll argue the public did not have legally sufficient access to this trial, with limited seats and no cameras. Motions for a new trial are rarely granted. Retired Judge Michael Chitty of Kaufman County will handle the hearing.
To be able to determine whether or not they've met the standard of proving that they, in fact, did not get a fair trial the first time around and it should be entitled to a new trial.
We need everybody on the steps, please!
The motion for a new trial could take Thursday, even spill into Friday. If granted, the process starts all over.
Justice!
If a new trial is denied, the defense can appeal to the state's Court of Appeals. In McKinney, I'm Jobin Paniker.